It's been said that Bigfoot exhibits nocturnal behavior, perhaps to hunt or to avoid detection. But the cloak of darkness couldn't hide the creature in the stunning footage you're about to see.
Years of undeniable evidence and countless shocking videos of otherworldly creatures proves just one thing.
This thing is looking weird. Oh my gosh.
That humans are not alone on this earth.
Oh.
And if you have any doubts, you better hang on for the shocking times these strange critters got caught on camera and shocked the whole world. Cryptid in cage. In an old abandoned house, something unusual was found in the basement in Arizona. It all started when some friends heard a bang coming from downstairs.
Dude, what's in it?
They went to check it out, and the culprit was a cryptid. It was being kept in a small cage. This creature had no fur, only skin covered in a black web-like pattern. It looked like a Chupa Cabra. But who locked it there? And who even captured it?
This thing is so weird.
The house owner did not even know it, so he decided to hand over the strange creature to authorities. Lab creature. Do you remember when Korea was experimenting with mutation back in the 70s? Well, one of them might have stuck around. A scientist seems to have created a strange cryptid creature in his lab. This odd being was kept in a special room with reinforced walls to keep it secure. The creature looked like the legendary Bigfoot. Despite its bizarre look, the Bigfoot-like creature seemed to be under the scientist's control and was responding to his commands. Encounter with Gray Alien. In this next video from an undisclosed location, a gray alien is tied to a chair in a dimly lit room. If you look closely, the alien's big dark eyes seem filled with fear and confusion as it struggled against the restraints. Its voice was definitely strange and otherworldly and showed a sense of panic. And that's the exact moment the video ended, leaving everyone in curiosity of what happened next. Bigfoot in the Amazon forest. What they don't tell you about the Amazon forest is that there is a big possibility of coming across something legendary. A local was enjoying and recording the serene weather and lush scenery back in 2021 when she saw something unusual moving in the distance. Luckily, she was recording the whole thing, so she began filming from behind a tree. To their astonishment, they saw a large, furry figure. It looked like a Bigfoot who seemed to be leisurely walking through the forest. The creature's impressive size and distinctive walk were clearly visible. Imagine capturing this unexpected moment on camera. How lucky! The Bigfoot's large strides made it clear that it was nothing ordinary. Skinwalker in Montana.
Oh.
Montana is known for its nature and wildlife, but many times people have come across otherworldly there. This person was driving on the outskirts of Montana when he decided to pull over for a quick smoke. As he stood by his car, he heard a humming sound coming from the woods. He ventured into the trees where he suddenly spotted a skinny, fast-moving figure. It looked like a skinwalker. The creature seemed to come out of nowhere and started moving toward him, almost like it was hunting him.
Oh.
The person realized he was being chased, so he ran back to his car and managed to escape just in time. The chilling experience left him wondering what other mysteries might be hidden in those woods. Strange visitor in the backyard. In Florida, a man heard a mysterious creaky noise coming from his backyard one night. As a curious Florida man, he had to check out the source. With only a dim light to guide him, he peeked behind the grill and spotted a creepy-looking cryptid creature creeping towards him.
I command you to go in Jesus' name.
This thing.
The creature looked odd and unsettling, with glowing eyes and an unusual shape. Even though it seemed to be approaching him, the man quickly pulled out his phone and started recording the bizarre encounter.
This thing is looking weird. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
He went back into the house, keeping a close watch on the thing through the window. The creature didn't cause any harm and eventually vanished from there. Alien discovery in Toronto. This footage shows a couple of surgeons trying to examine a weird humanoid, possibly an alien. Well, I am leaving the examination details for you guys, but they did not leave any doubts for us to believe that it was actually an alien. And what else could it be? Humanoid body, weirdly large eyes. Each feature says just one thing. This was an extraterrestrial intruder that got caught by the scientists. Terrifying morning in forest. We all dream of leaving the grind behind and living in the forest, but for this one individual, living in the forest turned into a nightmare one morning. As Josh stepped out for a walk, he noticed a strange creature on top of his roof. It had a humanoid body and dragon-like wings. It really was straight out of a nightmare. The man rushed back inside. The creature took off, leaving him terrified, but the fear didn't end there. Similar creatures were soon spotted by other explorers resting on tree branches. However, no notice has been taken by the authorities yet. Giant of Himalayas. A group of woodworkers went into the forest to gather some timber. As they walked, they found huge trees toppled over, with the trunks and branches scattered everywhere. Following the trail of destruction, the woodworkers soon saw the cause, a gigantic creature that looked like Bigfoot. It looked like it had been rampaging through the forest, breaking trees as it went. The woodworkers became scared, so they quickly called for help. Rescue teams set up bright red warning signs around the area to alert anyone nearby. The signs read, "Warning, Bigfoot in this area." However, no further sighting of the bushy bipedal was reported further. They wanted to make sure people stayed away, as the creature could be dangerous. Friendly alien. In Texas, a man was spotted having a conversation with an alien. They seemed like old friends, chatting away as if it was the most natural thing in the world. The alien seemed to be about the same size as the man and appeared to understand every word he said. Same goes for the man. They stood on the man's balcony. The alien had a sleek silver body and glowing blue eyes. The man gestured animatedly while the alien nodded and responded with melodic sounds. The onlookers believe this video's origin is Russia, and this alien is part of their new plan of interacting with extraterrestrials. Cryptid in the attic. Back in 2019, a family visiting their grandma's old abandoned house made a disturbing discovery. The husband, who was filming their exploration, went into the attic. As he checked out the dusty boxes, a loud noise shocked him. His wife was feeling uneasy downstairs, so she called for him to come down quickly. He rushed down the attic ladder, passing the camera to his wife. Just as he descended, the camera captured a terrifying sight, a hairless humanoid figure peeking from the attic entrance. The man was just there but did not notice it. They panicked and quickly shut the attic door. Now that is one really scary house. Cryptid at night. While wandering down a peaceful street in Amsterdam, a local resident experienced something out of the ordinary. While they were enjoying a calm evening and recording the picturesque, they saw a cryptid being calmly resting. The footage shows that it had a peculiar body and moved in a way that was both unsettling and fascinating. The creature's appearance was baffling. Its unusual form didn't match any known animal. Those who saw the video were left scratching their heads, wondering if it was a trick of the light or something far more mysterious. What do you think? Encounter in Amazon. I am back in the Amazon forest where a local encountered the unknown entity. As he was out for a little walk, he noticed something unusual in the distance. He hid behind a tree and started recording with his camera. The strange figure moved in a way that is really unsettling to walk. Doesn't it look like a cryptid? Suddenly, the man didn't realize that the creature was getting closer. When he finally noticed, panic set in. The creature, with its alien-like appearance, elongated limbs, and glowing eyes, seemed to glide through the forest. The man thankfully managed to escape, but the footage he captured remains one of the most compelling pieces of evidence of an alien presence in the Amazon. Close call. Now, I am not sure if it is some kind of alien hybrid experiment that was happening here, or if the scientists actually managed to capture the extraterrestrial intruders. The aliens were secured and placed in special glass enclosures for observation. Each enclosure was equipped with wires and monitors to keep track of their condition and gather as much information as possible. Inside these clear boxes, the aliens lay motionless, connected to various devices. The military watched over the situation closely. Who leaked this confidential footage and who captured it? It all remained a mystery. Cemetery haunting. This video captures sharp, footstep-like trails that appeared around a cemetery in Mexico. Gravediggers were both puzzled and worried, so they decided to set up a trail camera to figure out what was happening. What they captured was a creepy creature with sword-like limbs moving among the graves. Its body looked like a dark skeleton, and it used its sharp limbs to drag itself forward. This sight left everyone scared and confused. Some thought it was a rogue ghost, while others believed it might be a case of reincarnation or a deceased man's spirit walking. Bigfoot sighting. In a forest near Nepal, something incredible happened. A group of hikers spotted a Bigfoot walking through the trees. The creature was huge, towering over the bushes with its shaggy dark fur. The hikers, out to enjoy the forest beauty, froze in their tracks. They watched in awe as Bigfoot moved gracefully, blending into the dense foliage. Its footprints were surprisingly quiet for its size, adding to the sense of wonder. One of the hikers, feeling brave, lifted a camera to capture the moment. Bigfoot paused, seeming to sense the attention, then turned its head slightly before continuing its walk. The group stayed silent, not wanting to disturb the mysterious creature, and did not try to reach it. Lizard bird. In another town of Mexico, something truly bizarre happened in 2018 that left everyone talking. Dozens of people witnessed a strange flying creature flying high in the sky. It looked a bit like a hawk, but if you look closely, it becomes clear this is nothing like the birds we know. This so-called lizard bird, although looked like a bird but had no beak. Instead, its mouth opened wide like a frog or a lizard. People couldn't believe their eyes and wondered if it was some sort of reptilian bird hybrid. The thing was aggressive, as it swooped down and caused a commotion. Local wildlife officials were called in, and after a tough struggle, they managed to capture it. Everyone in the town was glad as they watched the bird being restrained. Under the bridge. One evening in Ukraine, someone was filming a calm river. They focused on a bridge where a humanoid figure suddenly appeared. What's fascinating was that the thing was moving on all fours across the underside of the bridge. The footage shows that this being silently grabbing onto the underside of the bridge and making its way across. What it is remains a mystery. It has even sparked debates on Reddit. Some people think it could be a skinwalker, but others note that its arms and legs are the same length. Unusual creature spotted. During a trip to a zoo in Morocco, visitors were startled by a peculiar animal in one of the enclosures. At first glance, it resembled a gorilla, but there was something distinctly unusual about it. The creature had an odd, distorted appearance that didn't quite match any known species. Its body was oddly shaped, with a strange face featured that suggested it might have undergone some kind of genetic alteration or mutation. The animal's eyes were unusually intense. The sight of this strange being left many wondering about its origins and how it ended up in the zoo. What could have caused such an extraordinary and unsettling appearance? Young Bigfoot. While hiking in the boreal forest in Canada, a hiker felt a strange sensation like he was being watched. He decided to check his surroundings with his camera, and as expected, he noticed something strange. When he zoomed in, he saw a figure staring right back at him. At first, it looked like a bear covered in black fur, but as he took a closer look, he noticed it had a humanoid head, similar to an ape or gorilla. That is weird, because there are no apes or gorillas in Canada. The hiker wondered if it could be a young Bigfoot, given its size compared to the trees around it. I have the same question. What do you think? Ghost in abandoned basement. One night, a group of friends decided to explore an old abandoned house. As they ventured into the dark basement, With flashlights in hand and cameras, they moved cautiously through the gloom. Suddenly, one of them noticed something unusual. From behind a crumbling wall, a creature was peeking out, watching them. It was strange and unsettling, with a strange glow in its eyes. The friends in shock quickly began recording, hoping to capture whatever this mysterious being was. The creature sprang from its hiding spot and started running towards them. The friends got terrified and got out of the basement. 17. Real-life Tarzan. In Minnesota, during a break from work, a construction worker had a surprising experience. He spotted a tall man nearby. Now, this person was unusually tall, and he seemed to be fascinated by the modern construction site. This person looked like a real-life Tarzan, wearing just a dark cloth and standing about twice as tall as an average person. As one of the other workers rode by on his bicycle, the tall man vanished without a trace. The whole thing was captured on camera from a distance, so the tall man's identity remained unknown. Alien sighting in Florida. Now we are back in Florida, where a woman noticed something odd in her neighbor's window and immediately began recording. The video showed a strange creature, like it was an alien. The being had a peculiar appearance, and it was moving in an unsettling way. This made the woman concerned for her neighbor's safety. She immediately informed them about what she had captured. They gathered around to watch the footage and were equally shocked. However, this was the first and last time they captured the alien, as no more of it was seen afterwards. Strange humanoid. In Costa Rica, a CCTV camera captured something truly bizarre one night. The footage showed a creepy humanoid creature crawling along the street in a crab-like manner. It looked like a giant crab with its spindly limbs moving in all directions. The creature's movements were so eerie and unsettling that it sparked fear among locals. People were left wondering if it was an unusual animal or something from the outer world. Unsettling Discovery. In a small forest in Ontario, Canada, reports of a haunting led paranormal investigators to check things out. They spent hours searching for any signs of ghosts, but found something far creepier. As they scoured the area, one investigator spotted a strange figure lurking in the shadows. The being quickly darted behind a tree and vanished into the darkness. When they got a closer look, it was clear this was no ordinary creature. The figure had sparkly eyes, clown-like makeup, and was much larger than a typical person. It moved with surprising speed and agility, combining elements of both zombies and clowns. Mysterious creature spotted. One afternoon in the Well Valley of Australia, a man set out to explore and film his first visit to the area. After spending the whole day capturing footage, he headed home, excited to review his recordings. When he finally checked the video, he was stunned. There was a strange figure hidden in the footage. It really was an otherworldly being that resembled an alien, with a peculiar shape and features that don't match anything he had ever seen before. Glowing eyes. While camping in Casa Nino National Forest in Arizona, a group of friends stumbled upon a bizarre sight. As they were exploring the forest, they noticed a strange figure sitting behind bushes. This made them curious, so they shone their flashlight on the figure to get a clearer view. The figure suddenly turned and stared back at them. Its features were really stunning. It had a shaved head and a thin skeletal body, almost like a Halloween skeleton. What really surprised them was the glow in its eyes. No human eyes should shine or reflect in light in the dark like that. The hikers quickly realized they weren't looking at a lost person or a regular camper. This was actually a Skinwalker with glowing eyes. New Zealand's creature. There's a lot of fascinating things to see in New Zealand. However, an alien appearing on a road should be the last thing on the list. While driving through a dense, temperate rainforest in New Zealand, a truck driver experienced exactly this. As he made his way along a winding road, he came across a bizarre figure in the middle of the road. It was a naked, skeletal-looking figure with a thin, gaunt body. Just notice how eerie his face looks. Its hair was tangled and it barely moved. This really scared the driver, so he decided to turn around and take a different route. He was too frightened to approach the figure. To be honest, I would be as well. Forest scare. On a sunny day in an Australian forest, a few friends set out for a hike. As they walked along a secluded path, one of them spotted something unusual among the trees.
See that thing right there? It's creeping me out. I lived here for...
Curious, they approached carefully. There, hidden in the undergrowth, was a creature that none of them had ever seen before. It had a weird shape and moved in a strange, almost mystical way. Its fur looked tangled. They quickly took out their phones to snap some pictures and shoot video of the bizarre creature. It seemed to notice them and slowly backed away into the forest. Strange sighting in Brazil. On a warm day in Brazil, a group of friends were swimming in a local pond. One of them got out and was about to jump back in when the person filming noticed something unusual. Near a dark hole in the forest, a strange figure briefly appeared. The thing peeked out, then quickly ducked away before anyone else saw it. The friends turned to look into the forest. Suddenly, the same being leaped across their view and ran away. This was no ordinary forest animal. They barely caught sight of its small, human-like legs before it vanished. Cryptid sewer creature. In a Melbourne neighborhood, some workers heard strange sounds coming from the sewers. Now, for some people, that means only one thing. The noises were unsettling, almost human-like. The manager became concerned, so he decided to check the CCTV footage. What the camera captured was really surprising. In the dim light of the sewer, a shadowy figure moved. Its form is barely visible, but if you pause and look closely, it is really distinctly human in shape. The figure seemed to be lurking and moving slowly, like it was deliberate. The workers, now gathered around the monitor, watched in silence. The footage showed the figure glancing up at the camera before disappearing into the darkness. Do you think this is the actual It clown? Strange hole in Arizona. If you found a strange hole on the roadside, would you steer clear of it or check it out? These friends decided to do the latter, and I tell you, it was not a good experience. While driving through Arizona, they found a weird hole that looked like it led into a tunnel. As usual, they decided to stop and check it out. As they got closer, a strange creature suddenly surprised them from the hole. It looked frightening and definitely out of the ordinary. They thought it might be an alien, so the friends quickly backed away. Even the creature was shocked by their presence, so it disappeared back into the tunnel. The strange goat. Goats are harmless creatures, unless they are born in the English countryside. Don't believe me? Here is the proof. Bert owned a barn where he kept his goats and hens. One day, as he stepped into the barn, something caught his eye. His goat was standing on two legs and walking towards the feed room. It was a bizarre sight. This goat was moving like a person and seemed almost possessed. He carefully approached, trying to understand what was happening. The goat turned to look at him with an unsettling stare before continuing its unusual walk. The man stood there, puzzled and a bit uneasy. What could make it act like that? Strange discovery in an old hotel. It's not always adventurers who come across creepy stuff. In Miami, a group of investors was exploring an old abandoned hotel, looking to see if it was worth renovating. As they roamed through the eerie, dusty halls, they came across a room that stopped them in their tracks. Suspended from the ceiling was a peculiar and unsettling creature. It didn't resemble anything familiar. Its features seemed very cryptid-like. The group stared in disbelief at the strange figure hanging there in the dark, empty room. Mysterious creature in the garden. Some kids were playing in a garden in the UK when they spotted something strange. They thought it was a weird insect at first. One of them noticed the creature moving around. It looked like a dragonfly at first, but as it flew closer to the camera, they could see it was something else. The small creature had a humanoid shape with wings. Can you believe it? The children watched in amazement as the tiny being hovered in the air. Do you think this is real? Could it be a mutant fly created in a lab by mad scientists? Terrifying midnight visitor. One night, while Sam had fallen asleep at his computer, his stepson was having a sleepover with friends. Something woke Sam in the middle of the night. Half asleep, he thought he saw one of the kids running through the house naked, but when he checked upstairs, all the children were sound asleep. Just as Sam was about to give up, he spotted something terrifying at the sliding glass door. It was a creature with gray skin and dark almond-shaped eyes. Just notice how terrifying it looks. He realized this was no child's prank. The creature stared at him with even a blink. What would you do in this situation? Chupa Cabra sighting. In the quiet backwoods of South Texas, anything can happen. Take this for example. In a small town in DeWitt County, locals believe they've spotted the legendary Chupa Cabra. Jane's husband claimed to have caught the creature one night. When Jane saw it, she immediately thought, "That looks like a baby Chupa Cabra."
He called me to come and look, and I said, "Bubba, that looks like a baby Chupa Cabra."
The creature had a hairless back, large claws, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. Its fierce growl made it clear that this was no ordinary animal. Jane and her husband Tom were convinced they had found the mythical beast. Local wildlife experts have a different take. According to a biologist with Texas Parks and Wildlife, the creature in the cage appears to be a small canine, possibly a coyote, dog, or fox. Unusual find at the zoo. Zoo is all fun and games until you come across this behemoth. The staff came across it while doing their routine checks at a zoo in England. The creature had dirty, mottled skin and a neck that seemed unusually long. Its tail was equally extended, and the zookeepers carefully captured it and put it into a special enclosure. As they looked closer, they realized this was no ordinary animal. The zookeepers were trying to figure out what they had just discovered. Do you have any idea? Strange humanoid creature. One night in Chicago, a group of friends decided to take a late walk through the quiet streets. As they chatted and laughed, they saw this humanoid figure sitting on the curb. This creature had glowing eyes, a bulky body, and surprisingly thin legs and arms. Its face and ears were bizarre and unsettling. The friends were trying to make sense of what they were seeing. Then, the creature noticed them. It stood up, revealing its full height, and without warning started running towards them. This terrified them, so they started running and didn't stop until they reached a well-lit area. When they looked back, the thing was gone. Strange creature in Hawaii. Let's now check out this home in Hawaii, where a family on vacation found something terrifying. In the living room, clinging to the wall, was a giant bizarre thing. It looked like a huge cockroach. This thing had numerous limbs. Its dark, shiny body and many limbs made it look dangerous. They called a local expert to identify the strange creature. The expert arrived and examined it closely and then carefully removed it. Sighting in Indian fields. In a village in India, a man was strolling through the fields as he followed a narrow path. He noticed something unusual lying ahead. He saw a strange figure on the trail. Not just the cryptid was there, it was actually alive and was crossing the trail. Just like it would be for any of us, it was enough for the guy too, and he rushed back towards his car. Abandoned hospital. A group of friends decided to explore an old abandoned hospital one evening. The place was rumored to be haunted, and their curiosity got the better of them. As they wandered through the dark, empty corridors, one of them noticed something strange outside a window. There, in the pale moonlight, stood a terrifying being with a cryptid-like appearance. It was peeking out of the window. The friend quickly alerted the others, and they all cautiously approached the window to get a better look. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This is the leaked footage from a documentary that was being filmed in a park in South Africa. A man who was out for a late walk at night noticed something strange, a large cage in the park. A streetlight above the cage cast a narrow beam of light, revealing something inside. He approached the cage. It contained a huge being who looked just like Bigfoot. The thing was clearly agitated. as it was moving around and showing its frustration at being trapped. The man realized that the cage must have been set as a trap to capture this legendary creature. Why this strange creature was never revealed to the real people is, according to some people, due to its otherworldly appearance, and some call it to be one of the most compelling Bigfoot's evidence ever. So what's your take on this? Let me know.